The text message from Mom read, "Come home early, sweetie. Dad's birthday dinner prep needs your creative touch." I smiled, assuming they were planning his surprise party. My father always pretended to hate celebrations, but secretly lived for them. That's why I didn't question the odd timing, or why my mother, usually obsessed with doing everything herself, suddenly wanted my help. I'm Olive, and that was my first mistake. The house, the one I'd bought them last year after my design company took off, looked peaceful from the driveway. Mum's roses were in full bloom, their pink petals catching the late afternoon sun. I used my key, juggling gift bags and the special whiskey I'd gotten Dad. "Hello," I called out, pushing open the door. "I brought the..." The living room stopped me cold. Mum, Dad, and my sister Alison sat in a tight semicircle. With them was a woman I'd never seen before, her grey pantsuit too formal for a birthday party. "Honey," Mum said, her voice dripping with practiced concern, "please sit down." My stomach dropped. I knew that tone. It was the same one she'd used when telling me my childhood dog had died. "What's going on?" I asked, still clutching the whiskey bottle like a shield. "This is Reagan," Alison said, gesturing to the stranger. "She's here to help." "Help with what?" The room felt too small, too warm. Reagan leaned forward, hands clasped. "Your family is concerned about your mental health, Olive. They've noticed patterns of excessive spending, boundary issues." I laughed. I couldn't help it. "Is this a joke?" "Sweetheart," Dad finally spoke, not meeting my eyes. "We're worried. The house, the cars, the constant need to fix everything. It's not normal." "Not normal?" My voice cracked. I'm successful. I can afford to help. Since when is generosity a mental illness?" Mum pulled out a folder. "We've prepared some paperwork. Just temporary power of attorney. Until you're stable." The world tilted. I saw the documents, the legal jargon swimming before my eyes. They wanted control of everything, my accounts, my assets, my life. "Sign it, Olive," Alison urged. "Show us you're rational enough to see you need help." I felt tears building, but forced them back. I need a minute." I fled to the hallway, pressing my forehead against the cool wall. Through the bathroom vent, voices drifted from the kitchen below. My brother-in-law Kyla's distinctive drawl. "Once the POA is done, the house and her bank account are technically ours." A laugh, Alison's. "She'll never prove she was competent enough to deny it. Mum's got that therapist friend playing along perfectly." My hand covered my mouth, stifling a gasp. The whiskey bottle trembled in my grip. I walked back in, face carefully blank. "Can I take these papers home? To review?" "We really think..." Mum started. "Please," I whispered, letting my voice shake. "I'm overwhelmed. I promise to think about it." Reagan nodded approvingly. "That's very mature, Olive. Sometimes we need space to accept help." I hugged each of them goodbye, feeling their bodies stiffen against mine. Even Dad, who used to swing me around as a child, barely patted my back. In my car, I sat motionless until their shadows moved away from the windows. The whiskey bottle mocked me from the passenger seat, an expensive gift for people plotting to steal my life. My phone buzzed. "Mum, we love you, sweetie. This is for your own good." I started the engine, hands steady now. They thought I was crazy. Fine, I'd show them crazy. But first, I needed to make some calls. The glow of my laptop screen at 3 a.m. cast shadows across my hotel room. I'd checked in under a fake name, paying cash. Something the unstable Olive they thought they knew would never think to do. Google search, Reagan Martin Therapist License. Nothing. Reagan Martin Counseling. Nothing legitimate. Reagan Martin Credentials. a LinkedIn profile with suspicious gaps, and a degree from a university that didn't exist. My phone lit up. Alison again. I let it go to voicemail, adding to the growing collection of concerned messages. Olive, please come home. We can talk about this. Mum's crying. Of course she was. Mum always cried when her plans went sideways. I opened my banking app, staring at the numbers that had made me both saviour and target. Last year's transfers told a story. $50,000 to cover Dad's medical bills, $75,000 for Alison's failed skincare business, $850,000 for the house. A message popped up from 6 months ago. You're an angel, sis. This business will change everything. It did change everything, just not how Alison promised. The skincare line lasted 3 months before suppliers started calling about unpaid invoices. I covered those too. My phone buzzed again, Dad this time. Hello? I answered, my voice carefully neutral. Pumpkin, he said, using my childhood nickname. Your mother's beside herself. We only want what's best. Like when I had that breakdown after college. The words shot out before I could stop them. When I begged for help and you told me to sleep it off? Silence. That's different, he mumbled. You were just stressed about work. I'm hanging up now, Dad. I pulled up my email, sending documents to my lawyer. Then I called the one person I knew wouldn't judge. Lexi, it's me. Remember when you said I could crash at your lake house any time? Of course, she answered despite the late hour. What's wrong? Everything. My voice cracked. They're trying to take everything. I'll text you the address and door code. Stay as long as you need. I hung up and opened my banking app again. With trembling fingers, I initiated transfers to a new account at a different bank, one my family didn't know existed. My phone exploded with notifications. Mum, the bank called about unusual activity, see? This is exactly what we're worried about. Alison, stop being dramatic and come home. I turned off my phone and pulled up the real estate agent's website. Colin had helped me buy the house initially. His homepage promised fast, discreet sales for any situation. The sun was rising when I finally closed my laptop. I'd done everything I could think of to protect myself, but sleep felt impossible. Every creak in the hotel hallway made me jump, half expecting them to burst in with their fraudulent therapist and legal papers. I walked to the window, watching early morning traffic build. A memory surfaced, Mum holding my childhood necklace, a delicate gold chain with a tiny ballet slipper charm. You're too unstable to be trusted with family heirlooms, she'd said last Christmas, tucking it back into her jewellery box. Maybe when you're older. I was 32 with a 7-figure business. But in their eyes, I'd always be the fragile one, the one who needed managing. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. Reagan, your family asked me to check on you. This behaviour proves their concerns. Please don't force them to take more drastic measures. I screenshot the message, adding it to my growing folder of evidence. Then I opened my laptop one last time, typing an email to Colin. Need to sell the house at address. Immediately. Cash offers only. Will take a loss for speed. Can meet this morning. The cursor blinked at me for a long moment before I hit send. They wanted to paint me as crazy? Fine. But they'd forgotten something crucial. Crazy people had nothing left to lose. And I was about to prove just how calculated crazy could be. Colin's office hadn't changed since I designed his logo 3 years ago. Same potted plants, same motivational posters, same coffee-stained coaster on his desk. This is unusual, he said, reviewing the paperwork. You're sure about this? I nodded, clutching my paper coffee cup. I hadn't slept, but adrenaline kept me sharp. How fast can we close? He leaned back, fingers drumming his desk. Actually, I might have something. Family's been hunting for a house in that neighbourhood for months. All cash, pre-approved. They could close today. My heart skipped. Today? They're desperate. Good schools, you know. He picked up his phone. Let me make a call. While he stepped out, I checked my messages. 37 missed calls, 15 voicemails, 63 texts. Alison, Mum found your hotel receipt. Stop running and face this like an adult. Mum, the therapist can come to you. Please don't make this harder. Dad, Pumpkin, just come home. Home. The word felt hollow now. Colin returned, grinning. They'll take it, 15% below market, but they can wire the funds within the hour. Do it. Papers appeared. I signed without hesitation. My hand didn't shake once. I'll need to do a final walkthrough, Colin said. Standard procedure. They're home, I warned, but my family, they're still living there. He frowned. That could be complicated. The deed's in my name, only my name. True, but I'll handle it. I stood up. Just get the sale done. Back at the house, I parked around the corner and waited until Mum left for her afternoon garden club. Using my key one last time, I slipped inside. The house smelled like Mum's lavender candles. Family photos lined the walls, carefully curated moments of happiness. Me at graduation, Alison's wedding, Mum and Dad's anniversary cruise, all lies. Upstairs, I went straight to Mum's room. The jewellery box sat on her dresser, exactly where it always did. Inside, nestled in blue velvet, lay my ballet slipper necklace. Too unstable, I whispered, pocketing it. Right. I did a final sweep, making sure I hadn't left anything personal behind. In my old room, a photo caught my eye. Me at 16, performing in Swan Lake. Before the episodes, before they decided I needed managing. My phone buzzed. Colin. Funds received, sale complete, keys. I placed my set on the kitchen counter, next to Mum's favourite coffee mug. For a moment, I considered leaving a note. But what could I say? Thanks for the attempted gaslighting? Sorry your theft plan failed? Instead, I walked out empty-handed. Through the window, I saw Mum returning, watering can in hand. She was tending her roses like nothing was wrong, like she hadn't tried to steal her daughter's life yesterday. My phone exploded again. Alison. Where are you? Mum says you took the necklace. Mum. How dare you? That's family property. Dad. Please, be reasonable. I turned off my phone and started the car. In the rearview mirror, Mum looked up, finally noticing my car. She raised her hand. To wave or to stop me, I couldn't tell. I didn't wave back. The sale notification pinged on my laptop. Done. Legal, irreversible. They had 30 days to vacate. My hand shook now, but not from fear. They thought taking care of them made me crazy. Wait until they realised what taking care of myself looked like. I pulled onto the highway, watching my childhood home disappear in the mirror. Mum was still standing there, watering can forgotten, as her perfectly planned world began to crumble. The necklace caught the sunlight from my pocket. I'd wear it tonight, I decided, to remind myself that some things, like dignity, like freedom, you had to take back by force. Let them call me crazy now. I'd rather be crazy than caged. Next stop, Lexi's lake house. And after that, well, they were about to find out exactly how unstable I could be. Lexi's lake house was 300 miles and a lifetime away from my old life. I woke up to the sound of waves and 6 voicemails from Colin. Olive, we have a situation. Your family is refusing to leave. They say it's all a misunderstanding. Delete. The buyers are threatening to back out. They need to move in next week. Delete. Your mother claims you're having an episode, says the sale isn't valid. I called him back, voice steady. Send them the eviction notice. Already did. They won't open the door for the courier. Then call the police. Olive. He hesitated. Are you sure? This could get ugly. It's already ugly. I hung up and made coffee, watching the morning mist rise off the lake. My phone rang again. Unknown number. Hello? Ms. Cooper? A woman's voice. This is Sarah with Channel 7 News. We're doing a story about your family's situation. I ended the call. Of course they'd gone to the media. Mum never missed a chance for dramatic attention. Lexi came downstairs, still in her pyjamas. You okay? I heard your phone. They're refusing to leave. Seriously? She poured coffee. What are they thinking? They're thinking I'll cave. That public shame will make me back down. I showed her my sister's latest Facebook post. Please, pray for my sister. Mental illness is destroying our family. We only wanted to help. Lexi snorted. Help themselves to your money, maybe. My phone buzzed with a text from the buyers. Police are here. Your family's causing a scene. I opened my laptop and clicked the link someone had sent. There it was, live on the local news website. Mom in her garden clothes, crying to reporters. Dad looking lost on the porch. Alison playing the concerned sister. She's sick, Mum sobbed to the camera. She needs help. This is our home. I emailed Colin the deed, bank statements and transfer records. Send these to the police. 10 minutes later, my phone lit up with a voicemail from Mum. Her voice was different now, soft, broken. Why would you do this to us? Your own family, after everything we've done for you. I played it again, letting each word sink in. Everything they'd done for me, like trying to steal my company, my money, my freedom. The news feed updated. Now the police were escorting them out. Neighbours watched from their driveways as my family carried boxes to their cars. Mum's roses wilted in the summer heat, forgotten. You know they'll never forgive you, Lexi said quietly. Good. I touched the ballet slipper necklace. Because I'll never forgive them either. My phone chimed with an email from an unfamiliar address. The fraudulent therapist, Reagan. Your actions prove your family's concerns were justified. I've submitted my professional evaluation to the court. It's not too late to stop this. I forwarded it to my lawyer with one word. Evidence. The buyers sent a photo, keys in hand, standing in front of their new home. My family's cars were gone. In the background, Mum's garden lay trampled from the chaos. Alison posted again. This, thanks to my mentally unstable sister. Karma will come for you, Olive. I typed a reply, then deleted it. She wanted a reaction. They all did. Instead, I blocked them all. Phone, email, social media. Every digital bridge burned. Lexi touched my shoulder. What now? Now, I closed my laptop. Now I start over. My phone rang one last time. Dad. I raised you better than this, he said when I answered. No, I replied calmly. You raised me to be exactly this strong. You just never thought I'd use that strength against you. I hung up and turned off my phone. The lake stretched out before me, peaceful and vast. Somewhere across those waters was a new life, one where I wasn't the family ATM or the unstable daughter or the problem child. Just me. Just Olive. Behind me, the news played silently on Lexi's TV. Mum was still crying for the cameras, but I couldn't hear her anymore. And for the first time in days, that silence felt like victory. Remember when you had that breakdown at 23? Lexi asked, pouring us both wine on her deck. 2 weeks had passed since the eviction. You called me that night? I nodded, watching the sunset paint the lake orange. Mum said I was being dramatic. Dad told me to take a nap. You weren't being dramatic. You were having a panic attack after working 80-hour weeks to support them. My phone lit up with an unfamiliar number. Another reporter, probably. I declined the call. I bought them that house because I thought it would finally be enough, I said. That maybe if they had everything they wanted, they'd finally see me. They saw you, Lexi replied. They saw someone they could use. My laptop pinged with an email notification. My lawyer. Your parents are attempting to sue for fraudulent home seizure, calling to discuss strategy. I laughed until tears came. They're suing me. After everything, they're actually suing me. Lexi grabbed my laptop, scanning the email. Can they do that? They can try. I wiped my eyes. But the house was in my name. The sale was legal. Speaking of legal, Lexi pulled up Facebook on her phone. Have you seen Alison's latest posts? I hadn't. I'd been avoiding social media, but Lexi turned her screen toward me. My sister is dangerous. She's sick and needs intervention. Please share to warn others about letting mentally unstable people control assets. Below were hundreds of sympathetic comments. People calling me heartless, cruel, unhinged. She's trying to prove their case, Lexi said, make you look unstable publicly. I opened my journal, a habit I'd started since moving here. Today's entry was simple. They wanted me broken. They got me bulletproof instead. My phone rang again. This time I recognized the number. Olive? It was Kyler, my brother-in-law. Can we talk? About what? How you plan to steal my money? Look, his voice dropped. Things got out of hand. Alison, she's not well. None of them are. Really? I'm not the unstable one anymore? They're desperate. The lawsuit. It's not going to work. They know that, but they can't accept losing control. I walked to the edge of the deck, watching a boat cut through the waves. Why are you telling me this? Because, he sighed, because someone should, because what they did was wrong. That's not why. My voice hardened. What happened, Kyler? Did Alison cut you off? Silence. She did, didn't she? The plan failed, so she bailed. She said, his voice cracked, she said if the plan didn't work, she didn't want the responsibility anymore. Of me, of us. Karma's funny that way. After hanging up, I showed Lexi the call log. Should I feel bad? For what? They're karma. She refilled our glasses. They tried to declare you mentally unfit to steal your money. They're getting exactly what they deserve. My laptop pinged again. A video call request from Mum. Against my better judgment, I accepted. Her face filled the screen, makeup perfect despite the tears. Olive, please, this lawsuit, we can stop it. Just come home. I am home. This isn't you, she pleaded. The daughter I raised would never... The daughter you raised? I touched my necklace. The one you called unstable? The one you tried to rob? We were trying to protect you. No, I said quietly. You were trying to protect yourselves. And now you're angry because I protected myself first. I ended the call before she could respond. The sun had set, leaving the lake dark and still. Lexi squeezed my hand. You okay? No. I closed my laptop. But I'm free. My phone buzzed with a text from my lawyer. Don't worry about the lawsuit. Their case is dead in the water, but be prepared for more emotional manipulation. I added it to my journal entry. They thought declaring me crazy would give them control. Instead, it gave me clarity. The lake breeze carried away the last light of day, and with it, the last traces of the daughter they thought they could break. Tomorrow would bring more battles, but tonight, in this peaceful darkness, I was finally, completely sane. The courthouse felt colder than it should for August. I sat straight-backed in my charcoal suit, watching my family file in. Mom wore her church clothes, Dad his only tie. Alison had dressed like she was attending a funeral. Maybe she was. The death of their control over me. My lawyer leaned over. Remember, let them talk. They'll hang themselves. The judge, a woman in her 60s, reviewed the paperwork. This is a civil case regarding alleged fraudulent property sale, correct? Yes, Your Honour. Dad's lawyer stood. My clients assert their daughter was mentally unfit to make financial decisions. Your Honour, my lawyer countered, we have documentation proving the house was solely in my client's name, purchased with her funds. Mum started crying softly. Right on cue. We have expert testimony, their lawyer continued, gesturing to Reagan, who sat primly in the gallery. A mental health professional who... Objection, my lawyer interrupted. This expert has no valid credentials. We've submitted proof she was hired through Craigslist specifically for this scheme. Reagan's face went white. The judge's eyes narrowed. Is this true? She asked Reagan directly. I need to use the restroom. Reagan stood abruptly, heading for the door. Sit down, the judge ordered. She turned to my parents. You hired an unlicensed person to declare your daughter mentally unfit? We were desperate, Mom sobbed. She was acting erratically, spending money. She threatened suicide? That's a lie. My voice cut through the theatre of it all. I have phone records, text messages, timestamps proving I was at work during their alleged suicide threat. The judge reviewed more documents. Mr. Cooper, you claimed under oath your daughter was violent. Do you have evidence? Dad shifted uncomfortably. She yelled sometimes. At what volume would you say your daughter needs to speak to maintain control of her assets? The judge's sarcasm was razor-sharp. Alison stood up suddenly. She's manipulating everyone. She always does this. Poor, perfect Olive, making us look like the bad guys when we just wanted to help. Help yourselves to my money, I corrected quietly. The judge held up a hand. I've heard enough. This case is dismissed with prejudice. Furthermore, I'm referring this matter to the district attorney for potential criminal charges regarding the fraudulent mental health credentials. Reagan bolted from the courtroom. Your Honour, Mum wailed. Please! Mrs. Cooper, the judge's voice could have frozen fire. Count yourself lucky I'm not holding you in contempt. This was a frivolous lawsuit designed to harass and defame. Get out of my courtroom. Outside, reporters waited. Mum tried to approach one, but her lawyer pulled her back. Alison caught my arm as I passed. You've destroyed this family. No, I shrugged her off. I just stopped letting it destroy me. My phone was already buzzing with notifications. Local news had picked up the story. Family's attempt to declare successful daughter unfit backfires. Lexi waited in her car. How'd it go? They lost, completely. Good. She pulled into traffic. Want to get drunk and watch bad movies? Actually, I pulled out my laptop. There's something I need to see first. I opened an old video file. Christmas, 5 years ago. Before the house, before their plot, before everything fell apart. We were opening presents, laughing. Mum hugged me after opening the bracelet I'd bought her. Dad called me pumpkin and meant it. You okay? Lexi asked softly. No. I closed the laptop. I won the case, but I lost my family. You didn't lose them, she corrected. You escaped them. My phone lit up with a text from Dad. I hope you're happy now. I typed back. I am. That's what scares you. Then I blocked his number, the last one I hadn't blocked yet. Now, I turned to Lexi about that drink. She grinned and headed toward her favourite bar. Behind us, the courthouse shrank in the rearview mirror, taking with it the last pieces of the family that had tried to break me. They'd failed, but winning felt a lot like losing anyway. 3 months after the court case, I booked a hotel room in my hometown. Not to reconcile, just to see what remained of the life I'd left behind. The house looked different now. The new family had painted it blue, replaced Mum's roses with wildflowers. Through the windows, I could see children's toys scattered across the lawn I used to maintain. Miss? A voice startled me. Can I help you? I turned to find Kyler standing there, looking thinner than I remembered. The gold of his wedding ring was conspicuously absent. Just passing through, I said, starting to walk away. Olive? Wait. He fell into step beside me. Can we get coffee? Please? The cafe around the corner had been my weekend sanctuary once. Now it felt like visiting a museum of my old life. Alison left, he said, stirring his untouched coffee. Right after the court case. I heard. She said... He stared into his cup. She said if the plan didn't work, she didn't want the responsibility anymore. Of the marriage. Of anything. Sounds like Alison. I should have warned you. His voice cracked. When I heard them planning, I should have said something. But you didn't. No. He looked up. I was greedy. We all were. My phone buzzed, a text from Mum. I saw your car at the hotel. Please come to church tomorrow. We need to talk. They're still here? I asked Kyler. Renting a small place. Your dad's looking for work. Their reputation, he trailed off, is exactly what they earned. I left Kyler with his cold coffee and drove to the church. Mum would be there. She always was on Saturday afternoons, arranging flowers for Sunday service. The heavy doors creaked open. She stood at the altar, white lilies in her hands, looking older than I remembered. I knew you'd come, she said without turning. I'm not staying. No. She placed a lily in a vase. Then, why are you here? To see if it was worth it. I walked closer. The house, the lawsuit destroying our family, was it worth it? We didn't destroy anything. Her hands trembled with the flowers. You did that when you chose money over family. I chose myself, for the first time ever. She turned then, eyes sharp. And are you happy? All alone in your perfect life? I'm not alone. I touched the ballet slipper necklace. I'm free. Free? She laughed bitterly. To do what? Post about your success while your family suffers? You tried to steal my life. We tried to save you. From what? My voice echoed in the empty church. From success? From independence? From not needing you? She dropped the lilies. They scattered across the altar steps like fallen soldiers. You were always different, she whispered. Too emotional, too much. We just wanted control, I finished. You wanted control. We wanted our daughter back. She's gone. I walked toward the door. You killed her the day you chose greed over love. Olive, please. Goodbye, Mum. Outside, the autumn air felt cleaner somehow. My phone showed a final text from Kyler. For what it's worth, I'm sorry. Really sorry. I drove past the blue house one last time. The new family was having dinner, their shadows dancing across the windows. They looked happy, normal, everything we'd pretended to be. Back at the hotel, I opened my laptop to book a flight home. A news alert popped up. Local business owner speaks out about family's failed takeover attempt. I closed it without reading. They didn't get to control that narrative anymore either. The ballet slipper necklace caught the light as I packed. Mom was right about one thing. I was different now. Different enough to finally walk away. The beach house's windows caught the sunrise, painting my workspace in gold. My design tablet showed the latest project, a series of digital artwork about family trauma, each piece selling faster than I could create them. My phone buzzed. Lexi. "Turn on the morning news," she said without greeting. "Local channel." I clicked the remote. There was Alison standing outside a familiar building. "Filing for bankruptcy," she was saying to the reporter. "The skincare business never recovered after my sister's episode." I laughed. "She's still trying to spin it?" "Keep watching," Lexi said. The camera panned to show protesters behind Alison. They held signs, "Pay your workers," and "Scammer family." "Your sister's former employees came forward," Lexi explained, "about the missing wages, the bounced checks, everything." I muted the TV. "Karma's not just a hashtag, is it? Speaking of karma, I'm dating someone new. Want to meet him?" "You're changing the subject." "Because you need to live, Olive. Not just survive." A notification popped up on my laptop. Someone had shared my niece's birthday video. She was turning 6, celebrating in the small apartment my parents now rented. No expensive gifts this year. No designer cake. But she was smiling. They all were. My doorbell rang. "Got to go," I told Lexi. "Someone's here." Through the peephole, I saw Colin, my old real estate agent. "Sorry to drop by," he said when I opened the door. "But I thought you should know. Your parents listed their rental. They're moving." "Where?" "Some retirement community in Florida. Downsizing, they said." I nodded, unsurprised. "Thanks for telling me. There's something else." He handed me an envelope. "Your mother left this at my office." Inside was a single sheet of paper, Mum's handwriting. "You were right. We were wrong. I'm sorry we couldn't love you without trying to control you. Maybe, someday, you'll understand we were scared. Of losing you, of you not needing us, of everything changing. But that's no excuse. You deserved better. You deserved to be seen. P.S. The necklace was always yours. I was wrong to keep it." I touched the ballet slipper charm still around my neck. "You okay?" Colin asked. "I've his snoisome better than okay." I walked to my workspace where my latest artwork glowed on the tablet. I'm finally creating instead of fixing. My phone lit up with a text from an unknown number. "Alison. The business is gone. Are you happy now?" I typed back, "I'm not responsible for your choices anymore." Block. Colin studied my artwork. "These are intense, personal. They're about family, about breaking free." I pulled up the collection's title piece. A digital painting of a woman turning into butterflies, leaving an empty cage behind. About choosing yourself when no one else will. "They're beautiful," he said softly. "And sad. Life usually is both." After he left, I walked down to the beach, letting the waves wash away the last echoes of my mother's words. My phone buzzed with another text from Lexi. "Dinner tonight? Bring your tablet." "Show us the new artwork?" I smiled, typing back. "Us? Me, the new guy, and that cute coffee shop owner who keeps asking about you." The morning sun warmed my face as I considered her offer. Behind me, the beach house stood proud and free, like me. No more hiding, no more fixing, no more drowning myself to keep others afloat. Count me in, I texted back. A final notification popped up. My artwork had sold out. Every piece. The comments flooded in. This helped me leave my toxic family. Thank you for showing me I'm not crazy. Your strength gave me strength. I pocketed my phone and faced the ocean. They took my kindness for weakness, but weakness would have been staying. Karma didn't come for them. I did, and that was enough. The waves crashed, eternal and free, as I walked toward my future, not as the daughter they wanted, but as the woman I'd become. Unbreakable, unbound, completely, gloriously myself.